Hi, so we are going to be discussing thermodynamics chapter. So the first question is the molar heat capacity of a gas at constant the temperature and pressure is. So the pressure or temperature constant होगा तो molar heat capacity जो है वो in theory infinite होगी, right? So it will be infinity, as you can see here, the working. Smelting of iron ore takes place through this reaction. ठीक है? Delta HF naught of Fe23 and CO2 और इतना और इतना, ठीक है, रिस्पेक्टिवली. तो हमारे पास ये रिएक्शन, तो अब आपको क्या करना होगा, टोटल देखना होगा ना, टोटल देखना होगा, राइट. सो Fe2O3 का इतना है पर मोल, तो आप इसको 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो आपको 2 मोल्स का मिल जाएगा, और सिमिलरली इसको आप 3 से डिवाइड करोगे तो आपको 3 मोल्स का मिल जाएगा, सॉरी मल्टीप्लाई करोगे, ठीक है. और फिर आप माइनस करोगे तो आपका आंसर आएगा 473 पॉजिटिव, ठीक है, प्लस का, तो मतलब ये क्या हो गया, एंडोथर्मिक हो गया. 5 mole of an ideal gas expand reversibly from a volume of 8 to 80, ठीक है, और टेम्परेचर जो है वो 27. तो एंट्रोपी जिसका फॉर्मूला इज दिस. सो आपको V1 दिया हुआ है, V2 दिया हुआ है, मोल्स भी दिए हुए हैं, टेम्परेचर भी दिया हुआ है, ठीक है. You'll just use this formula, which is delta ST equals 2.303 N R log V2 over V1, ठीक है. You put everything, so this requires calculator, वैसे तो because इसमें log वगैरह आ रहा है, ठीक है. but हाँ, इसमें क्या हो जाएगा, 10 हो जाएगा ना, और फिर this will become 1, right. तो not तो calculator use नहीं होगा, okay. The standard heat of combustion of a hydrogen compound is, so it's an intensive property, okay, because it's standard and it does not depend on like amount of substance, okay. In which case of mixing of a strong acid and a base, each of one concentration, uh, temperature increase is the highest, right. तब इसमें because इन दोनों में same है, ठीक है, तो इस वजह से इसमें सबसे ज्यादा increase होगा, ठीक है, because इसमें एक same amount of acid और alkali आपस में react कर रहे हैं, तो इसलिए there will be maximum increase in volume. If a process is both endothermic and spontaneous, तो entropy जो है वो 0 से ज्यादा है, ठीक है, because it's spontaneous, ठीक है, तो entropy जो है वो 0 से ज्यादा है. The product of pressure and volume decrease in adiabatic expansion. Heat absorbed or evolved during chemical reaction is delta H, इसको delta H से denote करते हैं. The change in enthalpy of a system when 1 mole is completely burnt in excess of air or oxygen is, so that's combustion, right? So इसको हम heat of combustion बोलेंगे. Enthalpy change may be positive or negative, तो HF जो है वो positive भी हो सकती है, negative भी हो सकती है, और solution की heat of solution is also can also be positive or negative, ठीक है. न्यूट्रलाइजेशन जो है वो स्पॉन्टेनियस है, ठीक है, और एक्सोथर्मिक है, ठीक है. सो इट्स स्पॉन्टेनियस एज वेल एज एक्सोथर्मिक. सो जो एक्सोथर्मिक है वो मोस्टली स्पॉन्टेनियस ही होते हैं, ठीक है. सो रिमेंबर न्यूट्रलाइजेशन जो है इट्स स्पॉन्टेनियस एंड एक्सोथर्मिक. डेल्टा H represents enthalpy at, so because not आ रहा है ना, delta H not, तो room temperature which is 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atmospheric pressure. Enthalpy change for process given by the relation. तो ये होता है delta H equals delta E plus PV. PV is basically work, thermodynamics में. The system absorbs 100 kg of heat and performs 50 kg, 100 kilojoule of heat and 50 kilojoule work. तो internal energy में कितना चेंज आएगा, तो माइनस कर दो, 100 heat वो absorb कर रहा है, 50 जो है वो perform कर रहा है, right. So this becomes 50 internal energy. Which equation represents atomization of iodine? तो ये होगा because ये atom में change हो रहा है, gas में change हो रहा है, ठीक है. इसमें भी हो रहा है, but like atomization should be, it's because it's like standard enthalpy, तो इसमें हमें 1 mole देखना होगा, ठीक है, formation of 1 mole. Delta HF naught of a reaction is recorded at 298, again 25 degrees Celsius, which is 298. Which of the following enthalpy is always negative? So नेगेटिव यानी एक्सोथर्मिक है ना. तो बेसिकली न्यूट्रलाइजेशन जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया is exothermic and spontaneous, which shows standard enthalpy of combustion. ठीक है, तो this because इसमें combustion हो रही है और 1 mole की हो रही है and it's like all balanced. ऐसे लॉ को हम लॉ ऑफ हीट समेशन भी बोलते हैं. SI unit for energy change in a chemical reaction is तो ये दोनों होते हैं ना एनर्जी चेंज के जोल पर मोल और किलो जोल पर मोल, राइट. हीट इज द एनर्जी दैट फ्लोज अक्रॉस बाउंड्रीज ऑफ द सिस्टम, है ना. वो या तो अंदर जाती है और सिस्टम एब्जॉर्ब करता है या तो रिलीज होती है और बाहर आती है. सो बेसिकली फ्लोज अक्रॉस बाउंड्रीज ऑफ द सिस्टम. In thermodynamic terms, boundary separates system from surrounding, right? Enthalpy is given as H equals E plus PV. Same equation. Temperatures and enthalpies are measured. So again, 25 degrees Celsius, which is 298 Kelvin. Temperature and volume are part of state of the system. Okay, so delta T, delta V. These are state of the system properties. If water is present in a cup, placed on a table, the system क्या होगा? System will be the water in the cup. ठीक है? या फिर water. ठीक है? Water in the cup or the water, ये जो है हमारा क्या होगा? System होगा. Strong acid can be involved in spontaneous reaction, just termed as, again, see, neutralization is a spontaneous reaction or इसमें strong acid involved होता है. Delta HF of which of the following cannot be measured directly? So इन तीनों का ये आपकी बुक की लाइन है कि इन तीनों का measure नहीं होता. ठीक है? A reaction which does not occur in nature is non-spontaneous. जो spontaneous है वो तो जल्दी से हो जाता है, ठीक है, खुद ही हो जाता है. It does not require any energy or anything. It just happens itself. Hess's law states that the total enthalpy change of reaction remains same regardless of the route or the path taken by the reaction for completion. ठीक है, जो भी हो, the enthalpy change जो है वो same ही रहेगा. For a reaction that can take place in more than one ways, again, same for all routes of that reaction. पॉजिटिव एंथैल्पी एटमाइजेशन की होगी बिकॉज उसमें बॉन्ड टूट रहे हैं ना और एटम्स में कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं तो इसमें हीट रिलीज होगी. Knowledge obtained through thermodynamics is used to explain the following properties. So physical properties, जैसे boiling point वगैरह. Energy changes in cyclic process is always zero, ठीक है, because it's cyclic. Cyclic में हमेशा zero होता है. Net change. Enthalpy change of solution of Na2CO3 is exothermic. This you should know. In chemistry, the work is generally pressure volume work. है ना, तो thermodynamics में जो है वो pressure volume work होता है. The percent of energy in a chemical reaction is kilojoule per mole. Okay, this is what we use. If energy is less than अगर reactants की energy is less than that of products, तो मतलब क्या हुआ है, energy gain हुई है ना, तो यानी heat absorb हुई है ना. Half hydrogen molecules change to one hydrogen atom. ठीक है, तो basically क्या हो रहा है, atomization हो रही है, so it's enthalpy of atomization. Not a property of system. Thermal energy is not a property. Enthalpy है, internal energy भी है, temperature भी है, but thermal energy is not. Okay, now we have English. Each of the chemical antiseptics was more harmful to the leukocytes than to the germ, right? तो अब because वो बोल रहे हैं each of the, तो मतलब singular subject हो गया, तो यहाँ पे was आएगा. अब इनमें ये गलत है. The more unjust the king is, the more troubled his country will be. ठीक है, ये ठीक है. The अब more नहीं होगा, more unjust the king is, more trouble his country. The more आना चाहिए, ठीक है. The more unjust the king, ठीक है. So that's why all of those are wrong. She said that they had texted each other earlier in the day to say they loved each other, which is sounds good, right? She said that they texted one the other, okay, each other earlier in the day to say they loved ourselves. No, okay, it doesn't make sense. They texted each other earlier in the day to say they loved each the other. Okay, pretty dumb. When I noticed that a dog cut its paw, I called the veterinarian right away. Okay, which is correct. When I notice a dog cut its paw, I call the veterinarian. So it's the punctuation here, na? तो ये comma आना चाहिए. ये क्यों गलत है? I call the veterinarian right away. I know why it's wrong. When I notice a dog cut. Okay, ये. There it's में apostrophe नहीं आनी चाहिए. The foreman's clemency, particularly in being candid, had its shortcomings, right? One of which was shoddy workmanship. Shoddy means something that um okay, it's like something that's like something that's like badly done, like सही ना किया गया हो, right? So shoddy workmanship. कि कोई workmanship जो है वो सही नहीं की, it's like badly done or something. Okay. The country does not have enough funds to utilize. Okay, ये जो है आपकी previous test में भी आ चुका है. Okay, and it's definitely true. Okay, इसमें अगर हम देखें तो it's 2, 2, 2, -1, -1, or -1. So it's like alternating 2 or -1. Okay, again, ये arrange करेंगे आप. Okay, majority of Karachi citizens have decided to protest against the construction of government office instead of a park. ठीक है? There are no parks in that locality. Because ये है इस वजह से people are or citizens are trying to protest. ठीक है? Because there are no parks. So this is the cause and this is the effect. The local government has agreed to provide necessary infrastructural facilities to the proposed ABC Trust project of supply of clean water to city P. ठीक है? अब क्या इसमें क्या action होना चाहिए? The local government should provide necessary land. Should they उनको देना चाहिए ना? They should provide necessary land. Also, they should facilitate electricity, है ना? तो उनको दोनों ही करने चाहिए. ठीक है? So दोनों ही are correct. And that's it.